Hey there, good to see you again. My name is Jeffrey W. Spencer and welcome to my channel. You know, this channel is basically about my journey to become a better artist. As I learn new things, I'm going to share them with you as I go along the way. Tonight I want to show you this. This is a proportional scale divider. This is a Derwent. I got this on Amazon. It's under $20. I'm using this to learn how to draw. I'm going to show you how I'm using it tonight, and I'm going to be an advocate for this. This tool is better than a projector, better than a light board. A light board and a projector will not teach you how to draw, they will teach you how to copy. This is the tool that you want. If you don't have one, get one, and I'm going to show you why. Hello, welcome to the overhead camera projection. We switched a little views on this video, and I have a microphone directly plugged into the overhead camera, so hopefully it doesn't sound too much different, but we'll try to square it up if it does. Today we're going to talk about how to use, or how I use basically this, which is a proportional scale divider. This is by Derwent off Amazon.com. This tool is used for scale proportions, meaning from small to large, or conversely from large to small. It can be used either way. The admonition for this is that once you start transferring an image, and if you're going from input to output, always use input to output. Always do it the same way. Also, never change the setting. Once you start your proportional drawing, leave this where it is. So that means before you even start drawing, you need to figure out where to put the setting for the fulcrum. Where is this pivot point? So in order to find that out, what you can do here, let me probably do this. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so over here just for good measure. All right, now got my source. This is my source image, and I want to take this source image, the head of this bird. I want to transfer the head of this bird somewhere else, onto some other surface, panel, canvas, desktop. Okay, so I guess the first thing we need to figure out is, where do we put this? Well, let me give a reference. Okay, so here's a piece of Bristol paper that I just put down. You know, I hope you can see that there. That's, you know, the top of the Bristol paper to the bottom of the Bristol paper. Now, if I measure the composition here, you'll notice it has sort of an aspect ratio where this bird fits into a box. Now, if there was something important within that area and I needed to transfer it, I'd want to be able to transfer it to the entire image. So I'd measure that, and now look at my Bristol paper. It's on either side. It's too big. It won't fit inside my Bristol paper. If this were my target surface, this is the wrong setting. Does that make sense? So what I want to do is change my setting, and I'm going to go to, let's say, I'll knock it down to 3. Okay, I'm making sure these are aligned, and tightening that down. Now, one thing I really don't like, I'm going to have to figure out a redneck solution, I guess. But when you do this on this particular proportional divider, the screw loosens up, and now it's, you know, it just wobbles, so it's free almost, and you have to tighten it back down. But, okay, so I made that change. I'm going to fix that, in other words. I'll show that maybe in a future video. I have an idea of how to do it, but I want to make sure it works. Okay, so let's measure it there. All right, so that's the same measurement And you notice now it's inside my Bristol paper. So that setting I think is good, and it's still going from small to large. We're getting a little bit of a larger scale, and we could move it down and go 1 to 1, but I think I want to show you what the value is of changing it scale. All right, so we made that right there. That's the drawing. So let's say there and there. That's the tip to tip, and if it's down here it's going to be the same. I don't have a square edge here, but I'm just going to eyeball and say there to there. And we have to make this measurement as well to make sure we have the same aspect ratio. That's about it. So there, and I'm a little bit off. There. There. And I don't know about you, but when I'm asked to draw straight lines, ruler always works. And like I said before, I don't have a square on here, so I'm just gonna do it that way. So more or less, that box is that box. If it were square, you know, if I wanted to take the time, I guess I could do it up, but I just want to show you how I use this. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to figure out a place to measure on this. You're not just going to start measuring stuff, you want a reference point. What I did is I chose the center of the eyeball, and I marked up the center of the eyeball on these two measurements here. I just said this way and this way. That's the center of the eyeball. So if I go from this measurement to there, I go there, and this measurement to there, and then I come across and I do, like, you know, that's the bird's eyeball, and that's my measuring point. So from this place, I'm going to measure radially to all my other measurements on this bird to get the right proportion. So if I do this measurement from the eyeball to the top of the head is there. From the eyeball to the top of the beak is there. To the center of the beak from the eyeball is there. And then to the point of the beak, about 45 degrees. There. And from center of the eyeball to his chin, there's going to be a little bit be right about there. And then to the back of his head, there. And then to his collar, there. To his front collar, let's see, about there. And I just screwed that up. That's why I need to fix that. Let's just say it's there. All right, now I have a rough guesstimate of proportion. So if we went ahead, if we had a pencil and eraser, we would be drawing sort of like that. And I missed that, but you know what I mean, there, and then over, and then down, and then down. This would come down, and then this would go off that way. And his collar would be sort of in this area. And his eyeball, let's say that, something. And then the top of his beak is here. And we did measure that, but okay, so let's give it a measure. We want to go from small to large. So we're measuring from there to his nostril. Okay, from there to his nostril. His nostril is going to be somewhere in there. And the back of his beak is going to be there. From that point there. From the bottom of the beak. Okay, so, if we just rough it in, I mean, I'm not trying to draw here, but I'm trying to show you the proportional relationship between my drawing here, the space between the top of his head proportionally is the same between the back of the head, the placement of his beak in relation to everything, his body. We could on a piece of paper say that we could draw this image onto a piece of paper and refine it, but the major proportions are there, and that's how you use this tool. Or I should say, that's how I'm using this tool. This tool is invaluable to an artist who is learning how to draw. This has been invaluable to me. And I would give you some friendly advice is to don't use an overhead projector, don't use a digital projector, and do not use an LED light board for tracing. If you're learning how to draw, you want to learn how to draw. You do not want to learn how to copy. This will teach you to draw. This will help you to draw, because those proportions are, especially a new artist like myself, those proportions are the hardest things to learn. It will teach you perspective, it will teach you, and you can always check yourself. If something doesn't look right to you, you can go back and say, I want a better measurement. That's what I would do. Buy one of those if you don't have one. If that's for skill, man, that's from large to small, or small to large. You can also get one of these, which is a different kind of Prospek. This is just a 1-to-1 ratio transfer. So if I'm just going to go 1-to-1 and never change, I always want the same size image. That's a little bit smaller. I mean, that's, this is 1-to-1, and this is not 1-to-1. So this is it should be a little bit bigger is what I'm getting at with there. But the dangerous thing about these is these are very heavy. They are very sharp. Keep these out of little kids. Should not have access to these. These will have the potential to hurt people because they're very sharp, and they can fall on your feet and cause injury. So keep it out of reach of little kids, please. And this is wooden, this is lightweight, it's still a sharp object. It's less of a concern, but it is still possible for a child to injure themselves if they're not supervised during use, because this also has a scissors action, and little hands, those motor skills on those little hands are not fine motor skills, they're big motor skills, and a little kid can easily hurt themselves with these. So I'm just trying to say use extra caution if kids have access to these. But as an artist, that's the value of it, and I think it's a win-win, and I hope you have fun. And if you don't have one, I would suggest you get one. I will put links to a place you can buy these on Amazon, and there's a cheaper one. I think I'm going to try the cheaper one as well, which is like I think it's like $8 at Jerry's Artorama, and I think the same one can be had on Amazon for about the same price. This one was probably about $15. It was under 20 for sure. Derwent proportional scale divider. Y'all have fun. Take care. See you later. Bye.